And every vision of my soul.
So have you ever been in class and just got a boner? Or hell, in public in general? Like, you're walking down the street, so you're sitting at a table, and then all of a sudden, boom, bada bing, bada boom, a bunch of blood's flowing in your dick. And now you got a hard on the size of Texas. So what the fuck are you supposed to do, right? I don't know. Like, I mean, you can't just whip it out and start beating it in front of all those people. Like, you could. But, I mean, you'd probably get arrested or something, right? So what the hell are you supposed to do, man? Are you just supposed to stand back and just let your fucking dick explode with the blood that's running through it? Like, could you tuck it in your belt? What if you got a small dick? You can't do that. Then it's just out there. And you've got a tiny little bump and people are going to laugh because you have a small dick. I don't know, man. Or maybe it's too big and if you put it in your waistband, then it'll just end up like poking you and then you end up killing yourself. Well, you know, it happens to us all, so what the hell are we supposed to do? I know what I do. I sit and I take it like a champ. I show it off with pride. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta let it happen and show it off like there's no tomorrow. And honestly, that's the best thing you could do. So I have 2 occasions where it's gotten really bad. You know, there's more, but these 2, they really stick out to me. Because, I don't know. Alright. One's more tame than the other, so I'm just going to say that one, alright? So, in middle school, there was this girl. Her name was, Patricia. And Patricia, man. Ooh. You know, I thought middle schoolers were ugly. And trust me, they are. But, if she's 13, I'm 13, you know what I'm saying? So, I just got to say, that middle school ass was fat. So I was all over that. I was all about that kind of life. And I had her for geometry. Oh, not geometry. We don't take geometry in middle school. I had her for like algebra or something. I don't know what the fuck I took. But I had her for a math class, that's for sure. And she sat in front of me. And I couldn't pay attention because she was just so damn good looking at the time. And I mean, you know, I was just a pimply, long-haired, greasy fat kid who didn't know anything. So, Patricia, right? She's just, you know, doing her work, whatever. We're doing problems in class, whatever. The teacher's showing us how to do the trigonometry experience or something. And then I'm just staring at the back of her head and just envisioning myself doing all sorts of sexual things to her, you know. Tickling her feet, grabbing her face and slamming it on the desk, you know, all that good shit. But then, all of a sudden, as I'm getting into the good part, my dick's all hard, so I'm just like, oh, fuck, dude. I wish there was no one in this class but me and her so I could just fuck her. But then, the mister, he's like, little kid? But the mister, he says, BoJack, I would like you to come on up and show the problem for everyone. Could you do that? And so I'm like, fuck! My middle schooler dick can't go down in a second. So what I did, right, I was like, yeah. And then I pretended to drop my pencil on the floor, right? And I put my hand in my balls. And then I move my dick up on my waist. And then I get up. And I walk to the void. And I'm all like, fucking, my blood just falls down. And I'm just, like, alright. And then I didn't even know how to do math, because I was bad at math. But now I had all this blood in my dick, so my brain wasn't functioning right. So I was just doing my work, la 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 la. And then, boom, bada bing. Oh, I can't get, it's not going down, it's not going down. If anything, it's getting even more harder, because I'm so nervous. So then, it ends up getting out of the waistband, and it's hitting my, it's out. Now it's just out there. And I think everybody can see. I don't know if they did. I don't know if they didn't. Because if so, they weren't talking. But then I'm just like, ugh. And I'm like, mister, I don't know how. And he's like, here, let me help you. And he finished it. And I was like, oh, thank God. So I got up. Well, I was already up. So I went to go sit down. Sat at my desk. And was just buried my head in shame. Because I was white, man. Like, I was Frosty the Snowman white, man. You don't even know. Because it was bad. And you know what? I think that was like the worst, not even one of the worst moments in my middle school life. There's been worse.
Holy shit. Anyways, so one day I did my morning crack and showed up to class like pretty early. Okay, so I walk into class and this girl, Leia, called me over. So I walked over and she's talking about how she did some kinky shit last night. And then she asked me if I could massage her back. And me being nice and an Xbox like 12-year-old, I say sure. So I'm massaging her back, totally not looking like Jared from Subway, when all of a sudden she started moaning like a Brazzers pop-up ad. And then everyone starts looking by the time my chub reforms, so it's all going downhill at this point. And the only thing blocking me from her was that like terrible school chair made by some like random Indonesian kid. Now that shit's going bad, I finally told myself to stop, and then I stop. And I'm just thankful I was wearing some jeans instead of basketball shorts, because then I would have totally been screwed. Everybody was looking. Just stop doing kinky shit. Or I don't know, your choice. You decide if you want an awkward boner. And this other time, I got a Hardy in PE, which was pretty terrible. So I was in 8th grade, and me and BoJack were like starting to become friends. And I don't know about you, but our 8th grade basketball shorts for PE were pretty terrible. They were like cheaply made, like way too short for all of us. And the waistband was way too weak to even provide boner protection. So you're pretty much screwed. And for some reason, our like shirts were way bigger than they needed to be. Anyways, me and BoJack and everybody else spent as much time as we could in the locker rooms. Because I don't know, stopped talking until our coach actually entered the locker room and kicked us out. Even then, me and BoJack always talked even extra, and then started to change until went in, which doesn't make sense because he's entering while a bunch of little boys change. Okay, so me, BoJack, and Leia, different Leia, are walking the track. Because, I don't know, he made us do some, like, really terrible exercise that didn't help at all. And I don't know about you, but me and BoJack weren't interested in PE. We're interested in doing our astrology homework. So we're looking around, it's for research. And we're looking around, and then we got a couple findies in our class. So we're just there, and they start passing by us because, we're walking pretty slow. And, out of nowhere, it's like someone rang an alarm because my wanker just woke up. And then all of a sudden, I'm trying to like hide like my exposure to everybody else, and you can only hide it for so long. My boner was winning the war. It didn't want to go away. I had to hide it for a complete 20 minutes from BoJack and Leia until he finally called the whistle and we finally went inside. And for the rest of the year, no one listened to what the coach said, so we all just wore or stayed in our school uniform, which was terrible because we were like really hot in it. More of the story: don't study astrology in basketball shorts.
Okay, so I was in class, or I was outside, or I was in the cafeteria. I don't know. I was somewhere. It was lunch. It was just me and a bunch of my friends, right? So I'm just wearing those Adidas soccer pants, the ones that are like, they look skinny, like they're skinny pants, but they're really comfortable, so you just wear them on your lazy days. Well, that's what I was doing, right? I was just wearing them. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, I got a boner, and I was like, oh, fuck, let me sit down. So I sat down, right? But I was talking to this girl, right? And then she was like, oh, I wanted to sit down. And I was like, oh, well, I already sat down. She's like, oh, well, okay, I wanted to sit down, though. So we're kind of arguing back and forth of, oh, who sits down? And I'm just like, whatever, just back off, girl. And then she's like, here, I got an idea. She bends down, and then she sits on me. So now she's sitting on me, and then I'm pretty sure she felt my dick, dude. Because, like, as she sat down, she pushed my dick down. So it was hard, and then her ass, it was like, and then boom, it was sitting, and she was sitting on me, and I'm pretty sure she felt it. And she kind of like moved around because I guess she felt something weird. And then I was like, like I basically was about to come in the middle of like 300 kids. So then she's just like, and then she was there, and it was still hard. And I was just, like about to explode at any second. And then that's when she's like, oh, what was that? As she's talking to her friend. So she gets up, she goes talk, and I'm just like, and then I bust in the middle of a cafeteria. And then I feel all sticky and shit. And I'm just like, oh no, what do I do? So I'm just like, the bell rings and everyone's going back to their classes or whatever. And then my friend's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Why are you still, what's taking so long? I was like, nothing, man. Just give me a second. I don't feel so good. He's like, all right. So he leaves. And then I run to the bathroom. I grab a bunch of toilet paper and whatever. And I start wiping my dick and everything. And I'm like, and then like my underwear was all creamed and stuff. And I was like, so I had like creamed corn just hanging around in my pants for like a good 30 minutes before the bell rang. So there I am in class. And I didn't even get all of it off. That's the worst part. Like, I couldn't clean it all off because it was just, like, all over the place. And you can't just take it off, like, under a fabric like that. So I felt like some guy who just, like, I don't know, man. But there was so much, like, cum down there. And it was so uncomfortable for the rest of the day. It was extremely unpleasant. I seriously hope that never, ever happens to not even my worst enemies. Because that is humiliating. And also, when you jerk off the same night, it feels hella weird jerking off to something that was so embarrassing. But I still jerk off to it because I was hot. Alright, so I'm just like chilling with Patricia and I'm just like, yo girl, how about me and you go rehearse our lines in the backstage?